Welcome everybody to this first official Zenstream. So today a very big subject, which is marketing funnels. So I just want to go into what they are and why we might use them and how we can implement them. So I can see we have our YouTuber Hannah. She's normally on Facebook, but she's in our YouTube channel today. So great to see you, Hannah. Drop any of your comments into either YouTube, which we're streaming to now, or to our Facebook group. So there's been a few posts going up telling you about this event. It's the first time we've run this whole workshop. I did an introduction yesterday, but what we're going to do is focus workshops. So I'm not going to rush and take things very steadily. And as we work through, I'm going to be sharing or giving you some resources to download that can really benefit you. These are freebies from us at Zenler. We've put these together for you. You can use these, you can adjust them, you can change the backgrounds and make it your own and basically use it as a template. So it's going to save you a lot of time. Also, we're going to run through the steps that you would use to do this. Now, we are using all Zenler tools in this. We're even streaming using Zenler tools. So this is what you're capable of doing, okay? So when we look at marketing funnels inside the Zenler system, we do make it really easy for you by setting up templates. However, I'm not going to be using templates today. I'm going to initially start with a template and I'm going to delete it all out. The reason I do that is because I don't want to just show you how you can just change and modify the existing template. I want to show you how easy it is to build it from scratch. And also there'll be a few little twists in this as well, because we are doing a lead magnet. That's a simple opt-in, a thank you page with a PDF that flies out by email. And I'll explain why I send it out by email and I don't put it into the actual funnel itself. I'll explain all this. And we're going to be doing a video series funnel. Now, with all this stuff, we have supplied you with the PDF. We've supplied you with all the stuff that we've got. Okay, so it's exactly as we've got it. We've even given you the Canva template, so you've got it as a base. And you can output from there. So what are marketing funnels? Marketing funnels are really good for anybody who's selling anything, especially online courses, because what it allows you to do is it allows you to bring in leads. You've got a set page that you can send people to, so you can market that first step in the funnel. And from that point, marketing funnels are really good because you can literally leave them. I'm not saying that you should leave them indefinitely, but certainly for the campaign that you're running, say you're launching a new course and you definitely want to use, you want to run that as a campaign. So that funnel is going to work with that campaign. Now, if the information gets old, then just like the course, you would update the funnel. So, but it is self-managed, which means it's really good. It's like when you have courses online, if you set all your automations up and you set all, people to download assignments, it literally runs itself. And if you haven't got assignments in there and you haven't got a community, you can leave it, literally get feedback from discussions, but you could literally leave it as a self-contained product. That's what I do with quite a few of my courses. I don't really have to touch them. I do go in, I do get messages, I give people a way of contacting me if they've got trouble, but I don't go in. I don't have to waste that time. Now, the other good thing, so what are funnels for? Obviously getting leads to come in. They're really good showing information. You could sell a funnel if you wanted to. You could even think of it this way. You could even set a course up where people can buy, and then the course access page could have a big button. This is your content, and send them to the funnel. Now, the only problem about that is, of course, the funnel isn't private. It is public because it is supposed to be bringing people in. But it's a way that you could use it, and people have used it in that way. Now, the ways that you can use funnel again is you can get people to come into a funnel and actually not set up any steps, but you could use the automations of that funnel through a form, and you can get emails to automatically fire off to them. The same as if they came into a course and you've got automated emails, you could do the same just with leads coming in. So you're building your leads up. If you've got no leads, this is a really good way of building it up. You can market this first step of the funnel. You're going to get opt-ins. If you're doing a freebie, some people say you shouldn't do freebies nowadays. You should be charging for everything. But I think really important that if you're starting off, or if you've got something, a little bit of it, don't give all your information away. Not like us at Zenler, we give you everything. But if you give them a little bit of information to tease them, because when you're looking at funnels, and this goes for any kind of marketing, is you're always looking at that next step. You know, from there, where do they go? Is it of value to them? You're not overwhelming them. So if you keep courses fairly small, to the point, simplistic, people are very likely to go to that next step. So that means if you're making more money, you're making it easier for your potential student to consume that information. So they get to that point. I understand it. What do I do now? Oh, here we go. Next step. And that next step, you've got another cell. So you're always looking to, it's almost like chess. You're playing it and you're thinking about the next move, but you're doing it in the benefit of the student, not trying to rip them off in some way. You're being transparent about it. You need more information. You'll see when we start creating these funnels how it will kind of work, because even the PDF, with everything you give away, you're kind of upselling. You're not forcing it, but you're saying, do you need help with this? Do you need the next step? And you're giving it in a way that's really quite sensitive to their needs as well, because that's what you're thinking about. So you're offering value. You're offering that next step. You're offering guidance and support, and that's what we are as teachers. We're trying to teach you. There's certain things we can't do. Okay, we can't do it for you. There is this thing where you think, oh, I take a course and I'll know it, and I can just, it's easy and it'll be done for me. But that's not the case. You have to put work in, like any business. You know, if you think you're opening a shop in a high street, it takes 5 years before you break even. So why do people think that's any different on an online course? They kind of think that online courses are kind of instant cash. But no, you need to put time in. You need to build it up before you're hitting those sort of five figures, monthly 5-figure incomes coming in. So you need to think of it in that way. You're building upon it. Also, like if you are starting, if you're watching this and you've got a job, but you really want to teach something that you're passionate about, then do it, but do it slowly. Set yourself time, set yourself planning time to put time into creating what you're trying to create, whether it be a product or whether it be a course or a membership using Zenler. You know, the same things apply. You can build this stuff slowly whilst you're still earning an income. And kind of almost like what I did in a way, I watched the balance scales between working for someone else and creating my own content. And when the scale tips on the other side, you reduce work that side and do more work that side, and that goes higher and higher. So if you think of it in that way, it's not overwhelming for you. You can do this. It's just you need to put that time in. So anyway, so that's what funnels are all about, why you want to do it. You want to drive leads into there. You want to be able to later on upsell them or sell them the course or the membership. You want to build that from someone that you don't know, who's cold to you. You want to be warming them up all the way through. So that is why you would do that. So the how is what we're going to do now. So how would you do it? How would you go about doing all this stuff? Now, this workshop is covering we're covering lead magnets and we're covering video series funnel, two really big subjects. So I can see Tracy is in on our Facebook group. Good to see you, Tracy. And Lur, I think Lur's in as well from Ireland. Excellent. This is good. Tracy's from Australia. Lur's from Ireland. Hannah, where are you from? I should look. You might have told me. So we got, this is a global platform. Ah, Lur's from France. From Ireland, but you're in France. Superb. Brilliant. Or Francis. Oh, your name is Francis. Oh, okay. Sorry. Boom. Okay. Right. Good. All right. So let's just get stuck into this. I like to get information to you quickly. I don't like to be waffling on too much. I can do that, and I try to stop myself. So I've got the chats open so I can look as I'm running through, but we're going to be running through this. And Hannah loves the background. Yeah, you like the new Zenstream background. Yeah. So we're going to be running through this. So what I'm going to do first of all is in the chat, I'm going to put the download links, and I'm going to show you they're actually in a Google Drive. There's there's 3 folders and 1 file, and I'll be showing you what these are so that you can work along. So if you want to download these and you want to watch this, remember you can watch it on replay, so you can go back and you can work your way through. So it'll be step by step. Hannah's from South Africa. Whoa! It's all over the world. Fantastic. Right, okay, let's do this. So I'm going to put the link in for you guys now, and the share media link. So the first one I'm going to put in there is the Canva template. Now this will be the Canvas template I'm showing you, and this will be our first how do we do it, and making it easy for you to visualize things as you're working. So let me put the Canva template into our YouTube channel. Okay, there we go, and I'm going to put it into our Facebook group as well. Ah, we got Anne from Qatar. Excellent. Whoa. Must be hot there. Right, so you got that. Now that's the funnel pack. So that is a template. That's a Canva template to the funnel pack. So you guys, hopefully you're using Canva. You know, this what I did put this together. It was all using the free version. All right. So I didn't want to use our pro version just because I just want everyone to have access and to see what you're capable of doing, even with a free version. Okay, so the next link I'm going to put in here is to the media pack. Now the media pack, it contains a folder, and I'll show you this. I'm going to put it into the chat, but I'll show you. Tracy's asking, oh Tracy, you're terrible. Tracy wants to know how many people are on each channel. She's always doing her marketing. No, I'm not going to tell you. How about that? Right, so we've got, I'll tell you later. Right, okay. So we've got a lot of people on our YouTube channel, but we've got many more in our Facebook group as well. But yeah, it's always interesting. But I haven't done anything from YouTube, so and a lot of. I mean, I am a YouTuber. That's what I do. So I really wanted to get the YouTube channel streaming live stuff in there just to help them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen now because I want to show you what we've got for the pack, just so that you know. So just so you can see what's going on in here. So you should be able to see that. My screen. What we have is we have a funnel view reference guide. Now this is just a printout of the design for of the PDF so that you could see the design. So it makes it easy because it means you can open it up, have a look at the design and make sure it's the same as you're building this out with me. To download it, if you're on Google Drive, just hit here, and it'll download the PDF. We've also got folders in here. Again, you can download the whole folder by clicking inside here. And if we go in the PDF, you'll see this is the PDF giveaway that we're giving away, which we'll look at in a second. And the next thing that we've got is the resized images that we're going to use for the funnel. So these are all taken out of Canva. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how. And then next we've got some sample videos. So these are just me in these videos, but it just gives you something to put in the platform as a placeholder before you create your own content, and then you can swap it out. So that is our media packs there, all supplied. Hopefully you guys can get them. If you do have any problems picking up the files or anything, then just put it in the chat and I'll deal with it after I've done the live, because I can't get into zipping files and sending them to you personally and those things within the presentation itself. So that is your pack. So you are ready, you are set. So how do we go about designing a lead magnet or a video series funnel? So this is where, thinking about it, a lot of this stuff I do directly in the platform, but some of this stuff I do in Photoshop, Illustrator, but Canva is the thing that a lot of people are using because it's nice and easy to play with. So I design the funnel, the template funnel, inside of Canva, and I do that because it's very easy to adjust and change things. You can visually see what's happening in there, and it gives you that first step or that guide to building that inside the platform, which is actually really, really easy. So I've got the cohort hostel from St. Ives. That's actually my wife. Hi, Adriana. I've got Hannah's amazing pack. That's good. You like it. That's nice. All right. It's very active on our YouTube channel. Come on, guys. Facebook, you can catch up with this. Right, so let me jump into our Canva template, which you have access to. So it's worth showing up just to have access to these freebies. So here we go, we are in Canva. So here is a template that I set up. Now the dimensions for creating this, if you create a new one, you can go create design, and then I always choose custom size. You could pick these are custom sizes for things like social media, videos, but I always go custom size. And if you guys have watched a few of my videos on especially media creation, you will know my main phrase is here is one size fits all for designing stuff inside of Zenler. Okay, not talking about mobile or social media. So the size I always choose is 1920 by 1080. You'll also see a common size that I use is 1080 by 1920. So 1080 by 1920 is a mobile ratio size. So this could be well used for something like social media posts for TikTok, even YouTube Reels and these kind of things. But the size we're going to choose today is 1920 by 1080. It will open up this like this, and you'll get this size. So from here, we can then start adding our components into here. So you can go down and you can pick nice backgrounds to throw in there. And you'll see I've got a lot of stuff already in here. Like this one here, I could just throw this in here. I could throw myself on the top there. There we go. And you can do this stuff really quickly. And I've designed a button out there which I can bring in. You know, you see how quick you can work with Canva. Now, this is not a tutorial about Canva, but it's to show you how quick you can work. So I have our first one here, which I called lead magnet funnel, and this is the one that you've got access to inside the chat. So let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Francis is viewing both streams. That's a bit crazy. Right, so this is our Canva template. So what I did was I started from a base. This is all text that I got across. This one's called Miss Julie text here, and you'll see that you can see the pick the different text. And this is the free Canva account. I got a little arrow. You know, to find lots of these assets, you can come into here and you can just type things like arrow, you know, and then it will give you kind of arrow, especially in the, if I go into elements, it's probably the one that I chose, and then I go arrow, you get these kind of lots of these arrows. Notice that's the one I used. With that arrow, because you drag it in, you can change the color of it just by using the color tag there. So the first thing I did was put a kind of block together of my main assets, and then I decided, right, okay, so how am I going to use those assets? So I just basically create a duplicate frame like this. Now you've got two frames, these are identical to each other. And then I can just take little bits from other stuff and I can put it in there. So I could take, for instance, this guide. I could copy it. This is a little tip, little hack for you. Copy it from one slide, go up to the slide so it's in the window, and press Control V. Bang, it goes into the same position. But inside here, I could then change this text and you get a new frame. Now I'm going to delete that out because I don't need it. So this top one, I created this because when you're creating these slides, you shouldn't just think, oh, okay, I'm going to use it. I'm just going to create the slides for a lead magnet funnel, which is great. You could do that. But where are you going to go from here? What are you going to do with this? You know, you want it to be consistent. You're working in one slide background. You've got this canvas size of 1920 by 1080. And what's happening is that is versatile for everything. So 1920 by 1080, and this is why I say it's a magic size, is great for background images inside of Zenler. It's also good for Zoom. So like Zoom sessions. So you could put this in as a virtual background in a Zoom session. This is what we do at Zenler. So you can make one Canva template fit a lot of different purposes. Now it could also be put out for videos. So you might want to use that particular backdrop in a video. So you can see how you can save a lot of time. And we are talking, you know, this whole thing is not just about creating the funnels. It's about optimizing your time, making things a lot quicker, but also making them more consistent. You know, what you don't want to be doing is opening up a brand new Canva template and just going in and going, right, okay, I've got to build this. It looks something like that. That's right. Because what can happen is you'll get the wrong color. The other thing is you're probably going to get the text in the wrong. It's probably going to be wrong. It's not going to be the same text. You'll probably use a different font. The lockup will be different slightly, even if you try and adjust it. So by keeping it all in one template, you're really helping yourself. Also, another little hack, and this is really good, right? So open up, let me just close this. So open up Canva. You've created your slide deck in here, yeah? You've got your Canva templates, you've got everything in position, and you decide that you want to run a multimedia pack campaign and you want to put it on TikTok. So if we go in here, we create a design. I'm going to choose the custom size, but this time I'm going to choose 1080 by 1920, which is mobile format, slightly enough to get away with. So it opens up as a mobile format in here, but, and this is the hack, come into here, grab this stuff by holding the shift key, or sorry, if it selects, let me grab across it, select it all by just dragging like this, copy it, Control C, come back in this design and press Control V. And what will happen is it's all dropped in. So this saves you a ton of time, because now I can just make sure I'm using the same image. I'm not sure I'm going to find it in here, but for the sake of speeding this up, I'm just going to drop something like this in. And there you go. Now I've got that in position. I can just play around with this. Say, right, I'll put that there. I'll grab my little lock up here and I'll put me down there. And straight away, you've got a mobile format of this template without having to rebuild all these things. And the lockup is exactly the same. So you can jump back into here and say, right, now I want to grab, maybe I want to grab this bit here because I don't like that original one. I can jump back in here and press Control V. There I am. And I can go, okay, I don't like you. I'm going to delete you out. But I like this one. Ooh. I like this one here, and I'll put me down there. So saving you a ton of time. Now I'm not going to save that, just close it off, but that's just how you can work with Canva really effectively. So let's get into this. So we got our Canva template. We decided we've started to build bits. I've got this bit as a Zoom background. Now I'm going to come into the funnel. So this is our first step of the funnel. So this is what I'm looking at creating. So learn how to create a lead magnet funnel, your free guide, a little picture, a little arrow. And unlike the funnels in Zenler, where the first page is the opt-in, I haven't got that here. I've got down, oh, this is the PDF. Sorry, let me go down. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, so I've messed up a little bit there. All right, so lead magnet funnel. We come into here. We're going to have this. I'm getting confused because I did a video series funnel as well, and it's slightly different. So this one is the lead magnet. So it's very, very easy. It's 2 steps of the funnel. There's the opt-in, where someone opts in, and then emails fire out using automations, and then it goes to a thank you page. So we created this one first. Now we put this in here saying form block. It's okay, it's a placeholder. We're using that and we're going to put that into from Zenler. So we're going to put the form in there when we get into Zenler. I don't need to put fields in there and stuff. I just know that's where my block's going to go. And then the next step, when they've clicked submit, they're going to go to this thank you page. Notice it says check your email. The free PDF has been automatically sent to you. Jump in. So if you have done the lead magnets and when you've created them, it's asked you for the free PDF, because it does as part of the steps as you build it. You'll see this later. I never put it into the funnel because people can bypass the opt-in page. Say a friend of yours gets the, or sort of lead comes in and gets to this thank you page. They could send the thank you URL to 1,000 different people. They could go in there, pick up the PDF, and not put their opt-in. By forcing them to actually check the email where the link is to the PDF, they can't do that. They actually have to give you their email each time. So this is a really, really big thing. So that's why we're doing it this way. I always make this point every single time, because a lot of people are still putting their PDFs or their offers into the page, which is a public page. It's no one's gone through a course to, like, unlike Zenler's course pages, no one's gone through the course and paid before they get the item. So you want to be collecting. You've done this time that what you're trying to do is you're trying to create leads and people of interest. And if they can jump and pick your PDF up and get some information, then they probably won't return to your site to actually buy the course or the upsell. So as well as that, you're going to see that the PDF goes out in an email, but we've got a little cell, and we do this every single time. Thank you, Francis. Yeah, it's a big tip. It's a big tip, actually. It's lots of people are still doing it, putting the, so be really careful about that. You want that opt-in. But the main thing here is we don't just say, right, okay, your free PDF is gone. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you and goodbye. And then you might not see them again. No, at every step we hit them with something. So in this case, we go, just before you go, check out all our training workshops and jet propel your online business today. So with a 1 in it. Now, I wasn't supposed to put a 1 in it. Right? That'd be like 1. So, definitely check your text. So you want to get rid of that 1. Don't use it as it is. Just testing. And then you have a link here, which goes to your courses page or wherever you want to send them. You might want to send them to a course that you've got because you're running this campaign. I mean, hell, you might want to send them out of the site. You might want to send them to your Etsy shop. I don't know. You can send them wherever you like. You might want to send them to your Amazon page to buy your ebook or something like that. It's entirely up to you. But it needs to go in there because you're selling that side. Now let's have a look at the PDF that goes out with this. So the PDF we're giving them is a PDF on how to create a lead magnet funnel. Okay. So the PDF, which is what I first showed you and got it wrong, is here. So I'm going to go through the pages of the PDF and you're going to see what I've done. So this goes out automatically to people that have gone into your funnel via automations. They'll get this and they'll go, oh, this looks really nice. And they'll go through it. And notice I haven't put any links here to the site or anything. I'm just giving them information. And you've got step here. You'd obviously put all your information in there. You go step 2. Oh, this is brilliant. I'm really creating my my lead magnet, and I finished it. And then they go, you get to the end and they go, right, so I've created my lead funnel. So now what? How do I market it? What's the next step? And that's why you're giving them value, but you're selling it to them. So you've got there, now what? Do not worry, we've got you covered. Choose your next step and jet propel your business online. So it's telling them, it's motivating them, it's all motivational messages, but you're not lying. You're telling them that you really want to help them. You're being transparent and you're warming them up. And they're going, choose, and they see amazing value for money courses or book a live one-to-one with me. So I got two upsells there. I've got the course, I've got book a live, just follow the link you received in the email or you type. So you'll have that email go out. You can have another email going out telling them where that page is. And you've got a little message. So it changes a little bit here. You don't put your name. You put something like drop in and say hi. You're just trying to build that relationship with someone you don't know. It's a little bit different if people already know you. You can be a little bit more forwards. I mean, you guys know me on the channel and you see me around, so you can joke around with me because we kind of know each other. So it's a little bit different. But when you're talking with new people, all you're trying to do is show them yourself, show them that you're a nice person and you're looking after their best interests, and you're not ripping them off in any way. And I think that's a big thing because it happens a lot nowadays. People get ripped off. Very unethical approaches to marketing and things that give give people a bad name, and people don't trust. So you need to, even more important now, to get that trust built with them. So that is the PDF. So that's the lead magnet. That's how we've worked through it. So that's what I do. Now I give you inside the drive, I give you a funnel preview. If you guys have already opened it, you'll see that there's a visual of these pages. So this will be really handy. You could have your Canva window open, and then you could look at it and just keep referring to it. But having that, and that's what I'll do in this one, but having that PDF means you can open it. You could even print it out and have it on your desk. I don't advise that because, you know, the environment and all that stuff. But if you wanted to, you could print it out and then you could look at it and then you could do it inside there. So let me have a look at the chat again, viewing both streams. Nancy can't download. Don't worry, Nancy, we'll sort that out later. So Hannah said, so true, download links, yeah, not to be sent all over publicly. Yeah, exactly. So you don't want to be doing that. Any more points come in? No. Okay. Right. Tracy said, I tried that, but it doesn't sync. I think she's talking about something else. Not sure. Okay. Right. So let us get stuck in with this stuff. So what have I got to show you now? So, okay. So, right. This is really important. If you're outputting this stuff, you're going to be outputting to a file. You're going to be outputting from here. You know how to output from Canva, I take it. Like if you go into here, you can share and then you download. This is my next tip for you. Unless it's a transparent background, unless you're using a pro account and it's a transparent background, download it as a JPEG. Okay. So if it's a flat image like this for a Zoom background, I would download this as a JPEG. Big reason why: a file size of PNG files are bigger than file size of JPEG files, right? That's fact. Reason being, JPEG files have 3 channels, red, green and blue, okay? PNG files have red, green and blue, but they also have an alpha channel. That alpha channel makes the size of the file bigger. So if you guys are using PNG files all over your site, you're going to lose a lot of time, load time on your site, because they are PNG files. And if they're flat files and you don't need a transparent background, then you don't need to use them as PNG files. Okay. So by default, it always comes up as PNG, and I'm taking it that it comes up as PNG files because lots of people will want the alphas produced out, but I always output a JPEG. So you can pick how you want to output this as well. So depending on what you're doing, you could produce this as a video if you've got the video template in there, PDF, and that's what I did, and JPEG there. So to output a single page, you'll see that I name all the pages in here, but they're also page 1, page 2, page 3. So if I wanted to output page 1, for instance, I could come in here, I could go to download, I pick my JPEG type, and then I go in here. Now if I leave it by default, it will download all 17 pages, but if I want one page, I just click this and I click this first page here. Notice page 1, video backdrop. I click done, and that will then download to my folder, and I've got it, and that's how it works. But what if you have a transparent background? So if I wanted, and this is what you've got in your download pack, let me show you. If I wanted to put this picture of myself anywhere in the page, but I didn't want like white around the outside or anything. I want it is this. So I want all the outside, all this lettering, I want it all cut out so I can put it in any position. I need it to be transparent. I need it to be a PNG file or a GIF file that carry alphas. I need that because otherwise it's going to be a flat image. If I try and produce that out as a JPEG, it will just be like white behind it. So it will be a block. So we can produce transparencies, and you'll see inside here, these are PNG files. You see that? And they are transparent. It might show white here, but as soon as I drop it on an area, in fact, let me show you, I can drop it straight into my Canva template. Then you're going to see it's going to go bang, and there we go. It's transparent. Okay. It's basically this output, except I can edit this. This is just one image. So that is why we want to do it. So how do you do that? If you have the free version of Canva, you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to go through a little bit of a loop to do this. So what you can do is you can output this. So what I do to output each component is to duplicate the page. Again, I've duplicated this page, and then I'll take the background and I'll get rid of it, and I will put in here let me just go and grab a square. I always use black mainly because I think it's just better for this sort of stuff. I put this in here, and then I change the color of it to black, and then I make sure it's right at the back by right hand clicking, layers, and send to back. There we go. Now I output this, and then you can use free programs to cut it out. So I've already got one prepared. Let me just delete this out. So you can do this per element, and this is what we've done for our pack. Okay, now I'm saying this, and you might think, oh, this is really complicated, but actually it's not. It's not. Once you get into it, you can see all my elements are just broken away. So I've just broken all of my little elements out of this. They're all transparent. Okay, so that's how I've done that. Let me just close that back up, and let me just delete this out, and then I'm going to show you a free program you can use. So let's go to pixlr.com. There are other sites. If you just go into Google, you can go something like, how do I remove a transparent background from an image? And you're going to get a plethora of sites. The problem with a lot of these sites is it will remove the background, but it will actually reduce the size of the image. So you might not want it reduced that much. It might be okay for some things. So you've got all these things here automatically removed. There's lots of free ones, but I found that Pixlr, which is free, okay, you can pay for it as well, but you can have it for free. pixlr.com. Let me put that in the chat. I've got some questions coming in, but I'm going to answer them after I've just run through this bit, so I'm on schedule. Sorry, Hannah, 2 seconds, yeah. Okay, so I've got that in there. So inside here, I'm going to choose Pixlr E, the more advanced one. But don't be worried, it's not hard. So I'm going to click photo editing in, and I'm going to go to open an image. So that's going to open this image. Notice black with white text. I'm going to click open, and here it is here. And on the left hand side, you're going to get a little magic wand, right? So you're going to go in here and you're going to click, and now it's selected it. So now I'm going to hit the backspace, and it's deleted the black out. Now, not all of it, because you'll notice the little circles have also got black in them. So you can just go in here and you can just use the magnifying glass, and you can just use the shift key, and you can start clicking. Oh, you can start clicking in here. Hold the shift key and start clicking. So once you go in here and you select these little areas inside like that and hit backspace, it will clear those out. Control D to deselect, and now we have this cut out. Now it looks like it's on a kind of checker. That's just displaying for you that is transparent. Okay, so it hasn't put a color there, it's just transparent. Then we're going to go into the crop tool, and this is what's great about it, Pixlr, because you've got all these extra tools that you can use, and it's not much learning, you know, it's really quite easy to use. We're going to put this up here, and then I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard, and it's cut it all out. There's a load of other things you can do with Pixlr. It's like a full suite of things. Amazing that they give you all this for free. But finally, what we want to do is we want to export it out. So we can go to export, and we can export layer, and we are on a layer because you can have multiple layers. We can just go export, and we can go layer as a PNG file. Remember, PNGs have got the alpha. So if I click export, I can then put that on my desktop where I always put things. And now I have a beautiful, let me just go into the Canva template. I'll drag it in. It's landed on my desktop. I'm just going to drag it into here. And bang, there it is. So I've got my lovely little logo all cut out. And it looks all right. It's not the most professional, but it looks pretty good. good enough to use for sure. The other way you can do it, if you've got a pro account on Canva, is you can just export them out as PNG files, and that's really effective. So I'm going to do one export here. I just want to remove this because I just realized I haven't got this wood background exported out as I was looking at the files. Okay, so I can export this out. So I'm just going to export this as my... So you guys can do this with the Canva template. And I'm going to save this as 1920 by 1080, remember that. And I'm just going to go down and I'm going to pick this one option here, which is this wood one. And that's it, done. Click and download. That'll pop up in my download folder. There it is. And I'll just put that into my funnel. Okay. So that is the designing of it all done. And if we go in there, that's our wood one we just downloaded. There it is there. And I'll put it in there. You'll notice, and this is a really important thing as well, everything I've got is really well organized. You know, I've got a root folder. I've got my, I didn't need to send these to you. These are all my creation files for my video source. Okay. So I didn't need to send those to you because I'm not going to be teaching you how to use video editing software. And you'll also see that I've got media packs for Zenstream in here. I've got the links to the Canva account. Everything's really easy. I've got the workshop shared with you guys where everything's in there that I need. So I've got the videos, I've got the resize. This is what you have got at the moment. And I've got the PDF as well. That is the freebie to give away. So notice how organized it is. This is really important that you keep the stuff organized. So it's on my desktop because I'm working on it now and I know straight away that it's all in there. So structure and planning is really important. When you're designing it, you can really play around quite a lot, but there are limitations. When you're designing anything, you need to be careful that it's going to work with the way that Zenler's grid system works. So to explain it to you, it's a bootstrap system. So pretty much all of them use a bootstrapping system where it looks at columns and it looks at rows. So you can't be putting an image in, if you've got one row, two columns, you can't be putting an image inside of one of the rows and have it extend into a single row that's above it or below it, because it won't go into it because it's gridded. So whenever you're designing things, try to design them that they're actually in a kind of grid format. And if you do that, you can't go wrong with Zenler, because Zenler allows you to put extra columns in there, extra rows, and you just dump the content into position. Do a little bit of offsetting on some of the parts, and there you go, it's done. So I'm going to now have a look at if there's any questions coming, because I think there's a few. Let me just switch to here. All right, so view both streams. Download links and not need to be sent over. Yeah, so Hannah, David, just recap again how we can cut objects ourselves out of a pic. I'm not going to recap, Hannah, just because it is a different side of it, but I've done a YouTube video on using Pixlr. If you've got a pro Canva account, it's really easy. You just remove the background image, you can export, and then you can just clip it. I would say, like, if you're doing a lot of this stuff and you really want to get professional results, you should be looking at either learning Pixlr or you should get something like Photoshop, because it makes it really easy to do this stuff. You know, like I cut myself out. I would I would never use Canva to do that. I use Photoshop just because it's more professional. So, and there's lots of training on doing this stuff and changing it. But maybe that's a good one, Hannah. Maybe next time I can do a short Zenstream on media, you know, media production. Would that be good? You guys like that idea? So Hannah's put, so keep the logos and little font assets in PNG as well. Right, okay. If you're using, good point, Hannah, if you're using an elaborate font, you won't be able to use that font inside of Zenler, or actually on the web in general, because it might show differently. But if it's a lockup, if it's like a logo, it's a special font, like a handwritten font like we had, then you definitely want to put that out as an image. Ideally, you want to make sure that you're using what's called live text, or text in the system itself, for as much as you can do. And you'll notice on the Canva templates, let me just switch back here. So I'll share in a second. 2 minutes. Okay, I can show you now. Right, so in here, I wouldn't output this. Okay, if I didn't have this little arrow in here, I could actually do it in Zenler. I would just use a button in Zenler and just put the text in there. I wouldn't output this because I'm going to put that as live text inside of the actual page. So as much as possible, you want to be minimizing images. But when you get something as special as this, like this with an arrow that's got to be in the right place, and it's in line with this anyway, I might as well output this as an image. Like here, it's part of this image. It's not really taking up any more size, so it's not going to add to the file size. It's not going to add to the page load speed time. But if I'm getting down to things like this, I'm not going to put this in here as, I'm not going to output this. I'm going to put this in as live text, because what's the point? I don't want to put all this text in. I don't want to put this text in. It's not, there's no point. I can put it straight into the platform and you've got live text. And it means that if I need to edit it later, I can just go in there and edit it. I haven't got to output a new image, put it in there and go through all that trouble. So in a way, Hannah, you're right. But in another way, you've got to be careful of what you're doing. So it's like, there's a lot of questions come on the Facebook group. How can I get better speeds on my page? It is by reducing image down. It is by optimizing the images and using the right format. So in combination with all these things, you get a balancing act. And you've got to be careful. If the load time was too much on this page, I would think about doing this in a scripted live text inside of Zenler, because I wouldn't want a high load time. But I know this is not much. This is like that logo there, that it's going to load in like a second, it's going to be really quick. And most people's internet now is really fast anyway, so it's even quicker. But it is something to bear in mind for sure. But just do produce images based on if you can't do it in Zenler. Does that make sense? That's the best kind of way I can say it. If you can't do it in Zenler, then do that. All right, so Francis trying pixel art, trying it. Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Amazingly powerful. There's a lot of stuff you can do in it, and there's quite a lot of tutorials on it as well. I've done one myself. Check our YouTube channel, search pixel art or image editing, retouching. So Hannah, you could check that as well. I tell you all about cutting images out. But if you guys want me to do, I think Tracy's saying sounds good to media, so I'll do that. Tracy, you've been in a few of my workshops. You must know this by now. Right, okay. So let's move on then. So we've output all our images, and now we're going to start to build the actual page itself. So I'm going to share my screen again. I'm just going to turn this off whilst I switch over, and let me go in, and we'll go into Zenler and we'll start building, and we'll show you how quick it is to build a lead magnet inside Zenler. And I'm going to work slightly differently, so there's still lots of tips and tricks that you guys are going to pick up as we're going through. I'm actually going to do this on the tutorial site, so I will put the URL of the funnel. If you want to go in and check it out, you'll be able to see it actually on the site. And I'm going to do the same with the video series funnel as well. So let's jump to here, and let me just, oh, there I am. Yay! Right. I sometimes get in the way, so I might have to turn myself off. Okay, right, so we're on the page and we're going to create a new funnel. So if you never created a funnel, you're going to get a big box saying create your first funnel or something. You can just click it. It's the same thing. You're going to notice we've got some funnels in here already. We don't actively use this in the tutorial site much because people just come into the platform, but we have got some in here. So I'm going to go create new funnel, and we're going to give us two options. We've got two options: lead magnet and video series funnel. Now, right, okay, so this is a big one. Lots of people think that if they have a video series, that they need to just use a video series funnel. Okay? You don't. If you want full control over all of the content, like we do, because we built the design out in Canva, we can do all of that inside of a lead magnet. Whoa, shocking, I know. It's shocking because you see it in front of you and you instantly think, but that's what it says, you know, lead magnet or video series funnel. Yeah, that's what it says, and we do that for a reason. We do it because new people coming in and using this want something in front of them saying this is a lead magnet, this is a video series funnel. We're trying to make it as easy as possible. However, when you've created a few of these, you will realize that it really doesn't matter. And you can do whatever you like inside the funnel. So by creating the simplest form of funnel, which is a lead magnet, we can create anything we want. And I always have it as the simplest form because I don't want to work from a template. We've just designed something in Canva. The template's not going to show that design. You know, if we take that design that the template gives you, we have to work so hard to make it work with what we're trying to do in our Canva template. So yeah, if you're new to this, I would say just create your lead magnet and just use the basic templates, change a few colors, change the text, set up your automations, and bang, you're ready to go. Same with the video series funnel. Video series funnel, go in there, load your videos in, go choose a template that you like the look of, set up the automations and the pages, the steps inside the funnel, bang, you're good to go. It's a really quick way of doing it, but it's not you, it's not your brand, it's not the image you're trying to get across. So if you want to be doing this stuff professionally, and it's not that much harder, you can create it all yourself and have total control and know how it's built. And that's a key thing. If you know how, because you've built it from the ground up, you know how to change things around. You know what you're doing because you've built it from scratch. It's like if someone builds your house for you and puts pipes in the walls. You don't know where those pipes are, but if you build it yourself, you'll be like, that's where the pipe is, that's where the pipe is. You'll know exactly because you've built it. And that's my approach, and I find it easier, and that's why I love Zenler, because it gives me that freedom to just go mad. And you'll see what will happen because I'm going to delete the template out. It doesn't matter which one I pick. I'm going to delete it out, and we shall see. So let me go back to screen share and check. Right. You know, I knew this would come up, so Saraswati, as say, I love how you're streaming right now. Curious how you're doing it. What streaming to both Facebook and YouTube? Okay, or just streaming. I'm using the Zenler stream to stream directly to our YouTube group, but I'm actually using OBS to stream to YouTube simultaneously. The feed that both streams have got is from OBS, so that's how it's done in a nutshell. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but that's how it's done. Right, okay, so we're going to jump in now. Oh, hi Jackie, good to see you. And I'm going to go and create the lead magnet. Let's click lead magnet, let's click next, let's call this something. So we're going to call this, let's call it how to create a lead magnet or lead funnel. Right, so remember I said to you earlier about the PDF. So this is where it says freebie download. If I add this file in here, it will be in the page at the end. Remember, I don't want to do that because I want it to email out to them. So I'm not even going to put anything in here. Now, it also gives you the option to launch a product at the end. So you can have a product launch at the end of the funnel sequence. So you can see we've got all our boot camps in there. And I could pick that. It's quite good. But again, I don't want that. So I'm making it really easy for myself. All I'm doing is putting a name in and I'm clicking next. Now it's going to ask me to select a theme. So I've got a lot of different themes. Now some of these themes have got buttons that you click that open up pop-up forms. I don't want them. I want the form. Remember the designer had the form under? So the one I tend to go with is always here. Now the reason I don't go with a pop-up is because you are actioning it. So pop-up blockers shouldn't stop it. But it's like some sort of technical problem that could go wrong. You know, you don't know. So I never have buttons. I sometimes do, but very rarely will I have a button to a pop-up for people to fill in for an opt-in. It's too important. I don't want to risk it. So I always go for this basic one here, and you might be like, but that looks horrible. But it doesn't matter. I'm changing it. I'm absolutely ripping it apart. And you're going to see. So I'm going to pick this, and I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to click Finish. So what it will do now is it will create our funnel steps, and it will create that opt-in page, and it will create that thank you page. So I've got both those pages. I have these opened up. This gives me an overview, by the way, so I can go back and see people coming in here. I can go back to funnel details, and you can see I've got the funnel URL. This is what I would use to mark it. So I would use this. I'd probably turn it into a bit.ly link, and then I would send it out. Did you notice that that media and the Canva template were bit.ly links? Notice that they weren't the whole URL, they were bit.ly links. So get in the habit of creating a bit.ly account and monitoring and tracking those going through. A little bit of marketing advice there. Next we have automations here, which are going to be the automations that were set up last. But we're going to jump back into funnel steps, and we have our steps, and we're going to go straight in and we're going to edit this step. Notice also the URLs. Now this is what I was saying about the URL. You know, if you give this, someone gives this thank you page URL out, they can get to your free PDF that you spent weeks or half an hour if you're, or 5 minutes if you're using ChatGPT. So you don't want them to get your 5 minutes of work, do you? So let's go to edit the step. So we've got an opt-in page. We're going to edit this step, and this is what we're going to be working to. We're going to be working to that Canva template. So whilst that's loading, I always like to do two things at the same time. I'm going to load in my Canva template just so you can see what I'm working to and how I'm going to put it together. So we're going to open up our design here, and I'm going to go to the page. So whilst I'm doing all this stuff, this editor is loading. Hopefully it's all going to be good. I am running 2 streams, so things could be a little bit slow my end. But I want to go to the original lead. Here it is, lead magnet funnel form block. So that's what I'm working to. Okay, I've got my assets. I'm all good. Let's go into here. We've got this loaded. Right, what am I going to do? I'm going to take this block. Right, you ready, guys? You're going to love this. Bang, I'm going to delete it out. Why have you deleted it all out? Because I'm building it myself. I'm going to go into this block. I'm going to go to block, empty blocks, grab an empty block, drag it in the page. I don't even want the footer in here. I'm even going to delete this footer out. I don't want any of it in here. All I'm left with is this little block. Okay. And we'll start to build this out. So what's the first thing I need? I need a background of that wood color. So I'm going to go in and select this. Notice I've put no rows in here or no elements. I'm just selecting. I'm doing this on purpose for you so you can see it's really clear. All there is in here is one empty block. I went to blocks. I went to empty blocks, and I dragged that block in there. That's all I did. I haven't changed anything else. I haven't changed this padding. By the way, if you click in here, you can drag it up and down. Okay, so I always drag it. There's always a little bit of a white gap there. Do you notice it? If I drag it down, it covers it. So let's click in here and let's go to settings of this block. So under settings, we're going to go to background image. And now I'm going to upload my background image. So I'm going to go and find, guys, if you've got it on your desktop, you'll be able to find this. Workshop shared, resized, and then I have it there. I'm going to click open. And when it opens, it's going to ask me, do I want to crop it? I'm going to click no. I know what the size is, 1920 width, and I want to keep it that way. And you're going to notice that now it's starting to give that nice wood effect inside here. Okay, now it might be slightly different to this, but it's got that look. So what else do I need to do with this? How is this looking? How is it going to work inside of here? Well, if I take this line, it's a little bit high, because remember I was talking to you about rows. It's like two rows, but the content is here. So if you break this down, this is one row, 2 columns. That's it. So I'll go in here and I'll go add a row, and I'll go 2 columns. Now I'm going to add an image in here, because I've got me, and I've got myself separated out. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to actually add another row. There's a reason that I do this. I add a row inside a row because it gives me 2 lots of control. That almost rhymes. So sorry if you can hear some noise. I've just got a window cleaner. But I'm going to add the element in here. So I'm going to add a row, and I've got a row. So now I've got control. I've got a row here. You might be, what? Control of what? Control over that particular element, row. So I can move things slightly differently if I need to. I don't have to do it with all the blocks, but I tend to, because it's good. It doesn't really add a lot more code. Now I've got 2 singular rows inside 1 row. So you can see there. You see? Right, now I'm going to add my first element. So I'm going to add an element. I'm going to go to images. I'm going to go upload image, and I'm going to select that image there and click open. I'm not sure. Can you guys hear the window cleaner battering away? Are you all right with that? I can have a little shout. So in this case, I have actually cropped it, but I don't really need to, because I've cropped it anyway. But you can crop it in the system. So it's up to you. You can crop it in there and then crop and upload, or you can upload without a crop. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to drop in here, and maybe I'm a little bit too big for this page, so I'm going to just reduce myself down. So I've clicked the image and I'm just going to reduce myself down inside here slightly. Or you can use the row. So if I go to this 1 row, I can click and drag like that. Okay, so we're building it up slowly. Now I'm going to add the next element, which is going to be this block here. I'm going to go into here. I'm going to go to image. I'm going to go and upload the next block, which should be this one here. And I'm going to upload without a crop because I've already cut it all out. There it is. Next, I have some text. So Canva, I'm copying the text. I know this text is an open sans and it's at 19 point in here. So I'm going to add a new element. I'm going to go to text, click that. Text will appear grey. I'm going to paste this and I'm going to go to the settings of that element. And I'm going to change the text color to white. And I'm going to change the font type to open sans. And I'm going to make it 19. And there we go. Okay, next thing is the form block. So inside here, I'm going to click the plus. Let me do that again, guys. I might be going too quick. So each element has a little plus. So even if I go to that one, if I add something there, it will drop in here. But I'm going to click here and I'm going to add an element and I'm going to go across to form and I'm going to click form. So I'm now putting my form block in. So I'm going to come in here and we're going to label this grab the PDF. You can call it whatever you like. let's say free PDF. Yeah, and I'll change the color. Right, little tip, you'd be like, I want to get my color exactly the same, and you can do that by going into Canva, going into here. So let me do that again. So you select the color like this, that orangey color, click this little patch, go into here, and it will give you what's called a hexadecimal value. This is how you can color match exactly. So I'll jump back in here now, and I can put that color in there, and bang, it's exactly the same color. Yeah? How are you guys doing? You all good? Hannah's got the thumbs up, so she's okay. All right, next thing I want to do is maybe change the border, and I'm going to put in here quite a high value. That'll just mean that it will just stay round. So everything else is round in the site. These I'm limited with what I can do. They are in here. I can't put rounded corners on these, which is a bit of a shame, because it would be nice to do that. But I can certainly start changing the field. So now we have created this first page, and am I happy with it? I think I need to make this a bit bigger. That's good. And so now what I'm doing is I'm just refining things. So do I want this to be, it's okay like that. I could get it even closer, but it would mean doing some more rows. I'd have to do a row right and left, and I'd have to do it full screen. So if I go across here, you can pick full screen. It makes it massively big. So you can put a block in here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little workaround. Because I need control over the left and the right margins, and I want it full screen. So I want to be putting it like this. I want it full screen. Yeah. But I haven't, if I do it full screen at the moment, I have no control over the left and the right, where it pushes in. So if I created, instead of 2 columns, I created 4, that would give me a left and a right, and then the content in the other 2. So this is how you can kind of think. Once you know the system, this is how you can kind of work with it. So I'm going to add a new row. I'm going to choose 4. Okay, now I've done that, I'm going to choose, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to grab this. It might not let me do it. Yeah, it doesn't. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add a row. So I'm basically duplicating out. You can't move rows around once they're set. So I've got a row in there. Okay, I've got this 4 column, and then I've got these rows in here. Yeah, and now I can take this content and I can start dragging it into here. Right, don't worry about the sizes. This is what I mean. You can just drag this stuff in. We're going to go to this. I'm going to drag it in there. Oh. There we go. It's looking crazy at the moment, but trust me, this will work. All right, good. Now I'm going to get rid of this row, and it'll all make sense in a second. You know, I like to push you to your limits. I could have left it as it was, but it doesn't look good. Okay, so now what happens, because I've got 4 rows, because it's full screen, is I can make this bigger or smaller just to get it exactly how I want it. That looks good to me. Good. Right, next thing to do is we have this right against the bottom, so I'm going to use some negative value. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, notice that I'm dragging this bottom area, yeah, and I'm dragging it, and I want to drag it so it's gone. It's basically, I've got no pixels there. I can no longer move it up or down. I'm going as close as I can. And what I'm going to do with this big row here is I'm going to go and hit the settings, and I'm going to go and put a negative value on this. So I'm going to put in here negative, I think it's about 20. And this should have done so. I'm going to move this up. I'm just going to save this, and I want to preview it. Hi Yogesh from India. let me just preview this. Have a look. There we go. Look, I'm right at the bottom. It might not be showing it in here, but because I put that negative value on here, negative 20 is dropped down. Now, the other way that you could do it is you could set these on 0, and I tend to reset everything else. And then I choose that row in a row, and that row in a row, I'll put that on negative 20, and then we'll see it. So by using a negative, you can get it to push down. And let's have a look at that. And look, it's too far, so it's pushed it over. So this is another thing, a good thing that you can do. You can push things slightly outside the box. So I want to get it exact. So I think it's going to be negative 10. You can also put a negative value on the element as well if you wanted to. So that's another way of working with this. 10 pixels, that should be good. There you go, dead on. So now we got something that looks pretty much like this. And it's done. We can add a little bit more spacing in there. If you wanted to build this up, you could set another block up and move it to the top, but it all looks good to me. So that is how we can do that. I'm just going to grab that in there. That's good. That's nice. I like it. So we created this first bit. So now I just need to set this up a little bit. When people are coming into a lead magnet, you might want to tag them and you might want to add them to an email list. So if I click the button here and I click inside here, you can see under settings that we can have actions for the button. Now our action is going to be submit form. We don't want to change this. If you have an email list set up, you can pick your email list, and anyone coming into this will go into that email list as well. Now we can also add them to another funnel. So if you think about it, we can add them to a series of funnels if we wanted to. So when they finish this one, they get added to another funnel. Emails can go out from that funnel, sending them to the funnel steps, and then they can carry on. You can also tag them. So with this one, I'm going to put in here lead magnet funnel Zenstream. And then I'm going to hit enter on the keyboard. And it always creates this extra little dot, so I get rid of that, but that is it there. So I'm going to click save to that, and then I'm going to move on to the next bit, is where, after they've clicked this button, where do they go? Because remember, we've built this from scratch in a few minutes. So post submit action is where they go to once they've clicked the button. So Tracy's got some good points there. Also, I usually simply right click the arrow and add the extra columns. Yeah, exactly, you can do that as well, but I'm going through, I don't want to just add them when you can just add them into the thing. But yeah, exactly, you can go into a column and you can add a column. So if you go into here, you can right hand click and you can delete rows, you can move rows left and right. That's really handy. I'll give you an example. If I go into this row here and I right hand click, I could move this content left like that. Okay, but there's a reason why I've got that on the right hand side. Tracy, do you know why I've got it on the right hand side? Tracy will get this right, I'm sure. I'm going to right hand click and I'm going to move it to the right. Bang. Yeah. So you can delete columns out by clicking inside the column rows. You can actually change certain things, like this. You can go in the settings of it, move a row, delete a column. So you've got all those options. Right, getting back to this, back into settings. Inside here, you have this post action. Now we want post action to go to a link. You can have it go into next step as well. What is the next step in the funnel? Next step in the funnel is the thank you page. So you've got two options. You can copy this URL. Okay, so this is handy if you want to jump a step. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Tracy just answered the question. I put it on the right hand side because when you go into mobile, things drop down underneath each other. So it'll look better on a mobile device. If I had it on the left hand side and you went to mobile, I would drop up and you would see the bottom of me cut off. So I've put it on the right for a reason. So it drops down underneath. Good one, Tracy. So you can copy this link here and you could put this in here, so you go to post action link, and then you could drop the link in there to that thank you page, or even to another page entirely different. You could send them from here to another site if you wanted to. But because we want to go to the next step, I'm just going to click go to next step. That's all I need to do. And that's all I need to do with that page. So I've tagged people, I've got the form, I tagged people, I've got them going to the next step in the funnel, and that's all I need to do. So with fields, if you want to add a new field, you can. You just need to make sure that it's actually pointing to the right place. So I'm taking a name here, and I'm taking an email address. But say I wanted to capture some other information. If I click in here, this is a speedy way of doing it. You could click elements and you could put a new element in there, but I'm just going to clone this out. So if I clone this out, I can now go into the settings for this little element, go across the settings, and you'll see it says input type. We can select. So if I wanted to take, for instance, someone's phone number, I could put phone number in there because that's where it's going to go. And then I could put phone number, please. And that's now gone into there. I could also make it required. So each field needs to be pointing to the right place. If you're adding extra fields, you have these options. You can go into email, first name, last name, address, city, state, zip or postcode, phone, or custom type. Yep, you can even put custom types in there. So that's something. Forms, I generally do a workshop just on forms because there's a lot to it. So if you want to put extra fields in there, there you go. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it simple. Name, email address are the kind of standard. People really don't want to be giving out any more information than that. You could also put opt-ins as well, but they're in the form, they're submitting it. So if you've got your cookie policy showing and stuff. So this is how you do it. And we have that done now. So I'm going to bring that up a little bit more. So it's very thin, but it's good. You know, I could put another block underneath if I want to make it a little bit bigger, and then add a bit of color on this. So I can make this bigger here. And then I could put something under here. So, you know, I could just use a color like a, I don't know, let's just choose a brown. This is where I'm going a little bit away from the original Canva template, and things look slightly different when you're actually working on things. So, you know, something like that I could put in there. And let's always preview. So I've got that preview page open. I just hit the preview and that gives me something like that, which looks quite nice. I might add a little bit more. I want to fill the page up with that brown. I don't want white. That's good. Or you can change it to another color. It's up to you. Or I could put a line under it. There's tons of things you could do with this, honestly. If I do, this is quite a good little hack. What I do with this, right? If I want to do a little thin line, I get this one and I move it right up to 0. But with this one, I move it up, and the only bit that's going to show is this little area here. So I go, right, okay, I'm going to put that in there like that. That will finish this edge off, and then I'll maybe choose that orange color. Right, it won't show all of this. It'll only show that little bit that you put in there, this little line. That'll be thicker, that'll be thinner. Let's put that in there, click save. Let's have a look how that looks. Let's now refresh, and we should get a little thin pin line. So that's good. It kind of finishes it off, you know? Yeah, so that's good, David. A good questions, David. Your complete guide to Zenler is so much more useful. It's so much more useful than this. Don't say that, Yogesh. So yeah, like Yogesh says, a lot of this stuff is covered anyway, but doesn't go into detail about custom making form, because this is a workshop. That complete guide to Zenler, it's got everything in it. But it's like boom, 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 boom. It's like, it's a lot of information. So these workshops are quite good. Plus, you guys get to ask questions as I'm going. And sometimes you even get to answer them, like you, Tracy. So that's good. Right, so that is the first page done. I mean, how easy was that, you know? And what's good about this is what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this funnel and I'm going to use it for the video series funnel. So that's going to save me a lot of time. I've also got this page here, which needs to be set up, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, because I'm actually not going to do a lot of work because I'm going to duplicate this funnel. So I've done that, I've got this, I'm said, right, okay, I'm happy with this. Now I'm going to go back to here, I can close this page off. So I've designed this one, let's just preview it. Bang, that's done, looks good. And I'm going to go into this funnel step here, this thank you page, and you might, you know, there's a lot of things going on here that you might be like, whoa, what are you doing? Why are you deleting everything out when you go in? Why are you going to just delete a step of the funnel like this? because I can clone it. So I'm going to clone it and go clone, and now it's going to drop in down here, and I now have, based on the original template that I just created, I now have the thank you page. So I can now edit this in the Canva template. We've got this already. Okay, I've got to change a few things, but it's no problem. And let that load, and all I'm going to do is make that 2 rows in the middle 1 row, or even bring it in a bit, and it's done. So I've got this, it's all set up. I might, do you know, this is where you could leave it the same or change it. No, I'll do it the same as we've got. So I'm going to go into this area, I'm going to delete it out there. I'm going to be doing a few things. I'm actually going to delete this row out. So delete. So I'm right hand clicking. I'm deleting the column. Sorry. And now I'm going to make this a bit bigger. Okay, that'll do. And I'm now going to swap this image out for the thank you. So I'm swapping, I'm not deleting, adding, I'm just swapping this image. So I'm going to go into the image here, I'm going to find the thank you image, which is that one. I'm going to click open. I'm going to upload without crop because I've resized it already. And inside here, I'm going to bring this down in size. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to put another row inside this row. I'm just thinking now what's going to be the best. So remember I've got a row in a row. So I think I will right hand click. No, I'll leave it. I'll leave it as it is. Okay, let's just do this. Right, so next step is there, free PDF. That's good. So that open sans 21. There. Go into here. I'm going to change this text now. I'm actually going to duplicate it. Okay, this is 21. It's slightly bigger. Let's go in here. 21. Let's take it, make it bold. There we go. Next thing I've got to add in is my little item. I'm going to go to images. Inside here, I'm going to pick this. Upload without crop. Got to reduce it down. It's okay. Back in here. I'll leave this text the same size, so it's all pretty much the same. What am I doing? There. Okay, is that good? That's good. I'm going to get rid of the form. I'm now going to insert the last button, which is this one. Click here to see it all. Yeah, sorry guys. Window cleaner. Here we go. So let's open this. and we've got this button. So I'm reducing this down. This is an image, but we can put a link on an image to where it needs to go to. So I'm just going to save this, and I want to find a page that I'm going to take people to. So let me just go, let's take people to, doesn't matter, let's just take them to Zenler, to our tutorial site. So I'll just take this, I'll copy this, I'm going to come into this, go into the settings, and within here I'm going to go on click go to, and I'm going to just do that, and I'm going to open it as a new tab, and that is it, and I'm going to click save. Now that will work, it will take them to the tutorial site as a new tab. We can test this by going to preview, and inside here we click this and it'll open a new tab. There we go, to our tutorial site. So it all works. So we could send them to wherever we want to go to. Yeah. Yogesh has put, he didn't mean to say the complete guide is so much more useful. he didn't mean this wasn't useful. I know what you meant, Yogesh. Perfect. So now we've set it up. We got our 2 pages. So we got our first page, we got our opt-in page, and then that's going to fire off to our next, which is the thank you page. So all it leaves us to do now is to actually give people that PDF offer when they come in. So I'm going to now show you how to upload a PDF and put the link in there. So I'm going to do slightly different things here. I'm going to just close these off so it's all nice and clear for you, because we've done our work on our lead magnet funnel. We're going to go and right hand click, and we're going to go to open link in new tab. The reason that I'm doing this is because I don't want to lose this page. This is just another time saving tip for you. So if I go to open link in new page, now it'll open up as a new page where I can dive into the media library here. Now when I'm in the media library, I can click upload file, and when I upload the file, I'm going to select our PDF that we have in our thing, which is here. There's my PDF. I'm going to click open. So I'm going to upload. So this is now uploading this lead magnet funnel PDF, and I'm going to give them a link. So everything you're doing is inside here. The thing about this is it's not a publicly downloadable PDF because it's locked, and you'll see a little locked icon. So it can be locked, and if it is locked, it means that people can't download it unless they're logged in. Well, these are leads. They're not registered on your site. They haven't bought anything from you. So you'll want to make sure that this share link on this lead is public. So I'm going to click share. It's going to say logged in users with this link can download. No, that's not good. So this is a mistake a lot of people make with this. They just put the link in, they copy this link, and then they send it out. And they might have tested it, but remember, they're already logged in. So to them, they're going to see it and go, oh, great, it works. If they'd have gone into incognito and tested it, they would not have been able to download the PDF. All right? And that's why we say test in incognito mode. So what we need to do is change this that anyone with a link can download. And then we need to copy this link and say done. Now we have copied the link, we can set our basic automations up for the funnel. So I've done my job there. I'm going to come back to here and I'm going to go into automations. So I'm going to keep this really simple with automations because I'm not going to spend a lot of time designing it. You're going to notice that we give you pre-made automations in here. There is a lot of information in there already that you can read through. But if we click the little pencil icon, inside here, you're going to see that it says delay after on. So you can see this is from subscription. This is actually from opt-in, right? So when someone's actually hit that submit button on the first page, that's when it fires. So it says 0. So it's as soon as they do it. Now I tend to do this 1 minute after they've actually opted in. That's just what I prefer. I like there to be a little bit of a delay in the system before it goes through. It's just good for me. You want to put your name in here. It should already be in here. So we're going to call it Zenler. And inside here, you want to be putting your email address as well. So, and I'm not sure this will work because I have zenler.com in there. So we also want to be putting in here your freebie. So learn how to create a marketing lead magnet okay, or a magni. Obviously, you spend time getting this right. And then your free gift. Okay, so then you can put blurb in here, but the most important thing is to get that link in there. So I tend to go through, read all this stuff. If you've never done this before, read this stuff. It's important information. But I go down to the bottom here, and the only thing I don't want to touch is this bottom area here. So I'm going to grab all this text, I'm going to delete it out, and I'm going to put dear. And now when someone enters their name, it's going to pull that in. So I want to go here and I want to go full name, and then I'm going to put a comma, and then underneath this I'm going to put thank you for opting, or thank you for registering with us. Here is your free PDF. And that's the most important thing at the moment. And obviously, as well as this, I would put check out our other great course material. So, and you put your logo in there. You'd spend a lot more time than this, but this is how it kind of works. And then you put a sign off there, regards David, or something like that. But I want to get my links in here. This is the most important thing for me. So check out our other great material. So you can click. Sometimes you don't put click here. It's better just to put the link in there. But I want to put the link in here for this. Your free guide. So I'm going to select this now, and I'm going to go into link. And I'm going to insert link, and I'm just going to paste that URL that we got earlier, and I'm going to click insert. Now my link is in there. So with links, I tend to make these always a little bit bigger. So I'll go to like a heading 3 or something, make that a bit bigger as well. You can do what you like, really. Let's make it all free. And then course material, maybe we'll go to tutorial site again. Why not? So we add a link in there. This is very basic, but it will get the job done. Okay, there. So you can then preview that. Make sure they are going to the right place. Close it down. I'm sure you can make it look a lot better than this, but you get the idea. I don't want to spend time. I think it would be really useful for me to do just a workshop on how to make these look nice, you know, because you can. It just takes a bit of, like, to do it in this, it would take me too long to show you all the little tricks and things. So we got two things have come out of this. One is so we got two things, right? Do you want me to show you on the next Zenstream? This is the thing, you see, you guys that turn up, it means that you get to say what's coming next. Nobody else does, because if they're not here. So you've got two choices at the moment. Do you want me to show you how to make these kind of automated emails look pretty? Or do you want me to show you how to create different types of media, like output, like PNG files, do some special effects, these kind of things? If you want either of those, put those in the chat. Yeah, I've done it already, Tracy. But, you know, this is brand new. We'll never stop learning. I'll do something you've never seen before. Tracy, I pretty much, you know what, I've done funnels probably about 10-20 times, but every time you do one, it's slightly different. Like this is the first time I'm actually giving you asset packs that come with it. So if I did one on media, I would give you the asset packs and the Canva templates. If I was doing one on pretty emails, I would be sending you this, the code, and I'd show you how to put it in there. So it's not the same. So pretty emails has come up. Okay, that's good. Well, pretty emails are kind of a little bit about the media as well. But this is it in its purest sense of the word, this is as clean as you can get. It's like a little bit of information, it's all done. Do test it, put your email address in there, send a test, make sure it works, make sure you're going into preview and you're clicking these links and that they work. That's really important. Also test that the link works in incognito mode. If you're using Chrome, you go to the top corner and go incognito window. Okay, so you're running through all those tests, but when you're finished, you click Save Changes. What it will say is this action is currently paused because it's red button here. So we want to make it live. So I'm going to click Live, and you want to apply it to existing leads. So all this means is if you have this, if later on you adapt this funnel and you've already got like 100 leads in there, and you've changed the way the email works, or even the form itself, or even the steps, the funnel steps, and you don't want to send it to the people you've already got, but you want to send it to new people, then you click No, don't apply to existing. But if you make a change in there, or say you want to use the funnel system as a kind of way of giving people an update, you could click Apply to existing. That way, all those existing 100, even though they've received emails, will receive another email from you. So it's almost like an update. So you could use the funnel system like almost like a newsletter. You know, and I was talking to one of our users who is doing exactly that. She is sending it out and she's using it as a newsletter. A client wanted to do that. I was like, why aren't you using email broadcasts? Because we've done it that way. It was like, okay. So it could be used in that way as well. So as we haven't got any leads in the funnel yet, unless you guys have seen the URL and jumped in, I would click no or yes. It doesn't matter because there's no leads. So I'll click yes in this case. And now we have it. And you can see now it says live. This funnel is finished. That's it. That's all I need. They've got the PDF. They've received this link in here. Now I could say I could send another email out in a week's time saying something like, you know, so I'd go from here, and if I wanted to do a week, I would go a week, and then I would go maybe two weeks. So from enrollment, 1 week, 2 weeks, and then from subscription, and then they would get another one after 2 weeks. And this is what you should be doing. You should be definitely putting in follow-up emails, because you want to be like, how did you get on? Did you have any problems? Have you seen this? Or I'm doing a live. Do you want to talk to me about it? You want to be following up on these things. You don't just want to be sending it out and just forgetting about it. You want these kind of follow-ups. Now it is kind of like, because you've set it up and it's a week, that email is automatically going out. You haven't got to touch it. But you might get someone email you saying, oh, I got your email and I am having trouble with this. And you can say, well, do you want to do a one-to-one with me? Or do you want me to show you a course that I've got which will tackle your problems or your pain points? And that's how you can do it. So the funnel itself runs. So you would always add extra automations in there, but I'll just be repeating the same thing I'm doing now. All right, so I think that's good. Nancy's like, ha ha ha, your window must have been so dirty. It's funny you should say that, because we do have, I'm in St Ives in Cornwall, and we have herring gulls, seagulls, massive, and they, this time of year, they're breeding, so they're very, you know, they're very generous with their givings to the windows and the roof. they spray everything, including people. So yeah, it was a bit dirty. Right, okay, so that is our lead magnet there. I've got the funnel steps in here. If you guys want to check this out, I'm going to put the link to this funnel. This is active. By the way, if you do sign up for this, you will get that one email, but don't worry, because you're already part of the tutorial site, I hope. So if you are, you could just use that same email and it wouldn't matter. I'm going to give you the link, right? I'm going to give you the link to this lead magnet. Now what I'll do is, after this, I'll leave it a week. After this, I'll delete you out of the funnel, so that you know, you're not giving me your email address. But this, even doing this sort of workshop, this is the sort of thing you could say. You know, it's like, if you've got an audience, all of you guys know me, but if you've got an audience of people that don't know you, You could say, right, okay, well, test it. Have a look, see what you're receiving. Give them the link. You're capturing them. You know, it's good. So that's how it can work for you. Just a little bit of marketing, because, you know, you always want to be thinking about that next step, as we talked about earlier. So I'll put that lead magnet in there. If you want to test it, you can. Like I said, because we at Zenler don't do this sort of thing, we just want you to test it and see that it works, and to look at those funnel steps. We're not in it to sell you anything like that. We just want you to see how it works and see the emails. That was a plain text email. So if you're marketing this now, you've got your lead magnet, you've got the step in there, you would then go and you would then do that on your social media. So if I put this in here now, this is our funnel. That's it. If I filled this out in here, and I click grab the free PDF, this will take me to the thank you page, where that would then take me to the tutorials page. So that's it. You've seen it working, and that's how it works. And I would have got an email telling me about the PDF to pick up, which I could pick up as well. So really, really simple and really effective. So if I go back to marketing funnels now, we want to look at the next type, which is and what's the time now? 12:40. So, well, that's not bad. Video series. I'm going to really go through this, so stay with me. Follow it through. You can watch the replay after, but I'm going to just bash through this so quick. So let's go to this one here. So they've got the free guide because you sent it out. We've done the funnel there, and now we're on to this one. So we're on to this one. We've got different steps going through. We've got the sign up form. This is what I was talking about. This is the first stage in the funnel, the video series funnel. Unlike the templates where it takes you straight into the opt-in, I've done it slightly differently. You don't have to do it this way. It's just I like to do it this way. I like to give them a bit of a teaser on this page, and this is the page that I market. There's no form on there. So when people see forms, they can be like, oh, there's a form. I'm not touching it. So if you've got a page that hasn't got a form, it's sometimes better. People go, oh, I am interested in this, and there's a nice button there. I'll press that button, and then they go through, and then they see a form. It's like, oh, well, of course it's free, so I need to put my, you know, so it can warm people up in a kind of subconscious way. If you just have a form and people go on a page, you've probably done it yourself when you go on to buy something, or you see the classic case. You go to a new software, you put in search engine free online background remover. And you go on there and you click it and you go through, and there's a form to use this, or you have the free version, but it's a really small version. It's not good enough. And then you click, oh, the high res version, and then there's a form. And it's like, oh, you know, I thought it was free, but it is free, but it's really small. It's not, you know, this isn't good. And then I just get out of there and I find some place that does do them, like Pixlr, for free. So we have a form on the second page, and then we have funnel steps. The good thing about this is I've only got to create one funnel step, and the rest can be duplicated out. As simple as that. So this is a little bit more complicated, but not a lot more. Now, just for the sake of this tutorial, I've uploaded my videos already, just so that they processed, because I'm running 2 streams and it takes time. But I'm going to show you the speedy way of going through this. So let's go to our first page here, and let's go and do this now. So we already have done and formatted our lead magnet. I'm going to take this and I'm going to clone it. So I'm not going to go and create a new funnel and pick video series funnel. You're like, what? You're not picking a video series funnel, but you're doing a video series funnel. But like I said to you right at the beginning, it doesn't matter, because you can design it how you like. You can add extra steps in. You can reshuffle the order of the steps. You don't need to be working from the templates when it's so easy just to do it. So time saving, massive time saver for you is this here. Clone the funnel. We're going to hit clone the funnel, and we're going to go clone. And under our funnel details, I'm going to put in here a video series funnel. And I'm even going to change this because it's wrong. Create a video series funnel. And I'm going to click update. Yes. Okay, perfect. Final steps. Lead magnet. Brilliant. Edit. Check out our canvas template. That's Open Sans, about 65. The rest is pretty similar. Let's let that load up. Okay, so I've got that. Learn how to create. So I've got learn how to create, but that's the video. So this is the video series. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to select this. I'm going to go down the bottom here, click this, and I'm going to go a single row. Do I want a single row? No. I want 3 rows. I'll show you why in a second. So add a new column. Add a new column. All right, take this and that and move it up and add a heading there. Come into here. What color is it? Open Sans 65. Grab, remember this little trick, hexadecimals, grab it from the Canva template. Open Sans. Yep, so I'm making sure everything is exactly the same. Put this in about 60 here. Perfect. Okay. Okay, this is good. Now I'm not going to delete out the form. The reason I'm not deleting the form out is because I want to use it in the next step, which is the opt-in. So remember, we got this, then we got the form. So I'm just going to use the same. So this is just smart thinking. This is when you're working, just try and think about what the next step is. If you've already got bits in there, just leave it the same. So I've done that, and that will go through. I need to create a button. I've already got a button, so I'm going to click here, drag an image. I'm going to go click here. Which one is it? It's the click here to see it all. So I've got that button already. I'll make it a bit smaller. And with this button, I'm going to click through to the next step of the funnel. So I'm going to come back to these because I need to recreate certain things. So I'm going to say this one's good. I'm going to click save. And in 2 seconds, you'll see it all happening. So I've now done that first step of the funnel. Ooh, let's just save that again. That's good. And we'll clone this. All right, so now I have the actual opt-in. So we've done this page, but we've left the form in, okay? And we cloned it, so the form's still in there for the second page. So I now need to link this button up to this first step, which is really easy. I can just grab this URL. You could change that URL, but I'm just going to leave it. To change the URL, you just need to come in here, and you just need to change it here, and you just need to click update. That will change the URL for that step. You can also shuffle the order by clicking in there and dragging it. So I'm going to copy that URL. I'm going to jump back in to edit the first step, and we're kind of like just jump in between the two. So now I've created the second step. I'm going to link the first one to the second step. When I create the third step, I can then link from the second step to the third step, and you're just following that path down. And this will be, and the automations will send out links to each of the video steps. So let this open up. Okay, now I don't need this, so I'll delete that out. and this button needs to link to the second step, which is this one, which I copied the URL for. Yeah, I know it's a lot to take in, but just take it slowly and then you'll understand. So I've got that funnel step in there. I'm not going to open it in a new tab. I'm going to leave it all the same, and I'm going to click save. I can test this works by clicking preview. So they're in here, they click here, and they go through to this. Okay, so I need to remove this button from that step. So I know it works. I'm now going to just close that off and open the second step. Too much info. Nancy, we're trying to do lead magnet funnels and video series funnel. It's not a small task. Plus we are actually, it's quick. I mean, the designing of it in Canva and the doing the output of all the media is actually the longest part. Stay with me, because like when we've done this, I mean, we've just cloned a lead magnet and we've created the first page in less than a minute. It's good. So it's really effective. This method will really speed up things for you. So I'm going to change this text here. I'm not going to do it as big. I want to keep it the same size as this, I think. I could make it bigger, but I'm going to leave it. So I've now got my form, and this is going to go to the third step in the funnel. So once again, I'm going to save this. Once I've done this part, it's really easy. I'm just going to clone the pages out. It's really easy at this point. So I've got this saved. I'm going to click and clone a new step. Notice I've left the thank you page at the bottom. I don't need to touch that. I'm going to put in here 2, and I'm going to click update. Okay, I'm going to copy this one now. So I want the opt-in form to go to this, which is the first day of the video. So let me put that into here. So instead of going, we're going to change this as well. So we are actually at that stage. So this is video series funnel. I'll put Zen in there. So I've tagged it as well. And I want submit form. And I want it to go to the next step. So I could leave that because it does go to the next step. So I can kind of leave it. So let's click save to that. So we've got our first 2 stages of the funnel done. We can go and check. So we've got this first one here. This will click and take us to the opt-in form, which is here. When they click this, it will take us to the third step that we haven't designed yet. And this is the one that will have the first step of the video. So we'll create that, and then we can just duplicate it. And it's as simple as that. Then we just link up the automations and it's done. So let me just take this, edit it. And this is very simple. It's just that logo, all centered. That'll do. I'll bring that down. I'm going to move this up. Just going to go into the option for this. This is going to be in the color. Let's just pick one of those. Let's make this 55, nice and big. I'm going to clone that out. I use a lot of cloning when I'm doing stuff. I just always use things as a base. It can save you a lot of time. The copy and pasting takes longer actually. Okay, let me just reduce this down a little bit. I want it big, but I don't want it too big, a bit bigger than I've got. definitely want to get rid of the spacing top and bottom. That's good. Okay. And now I'm going to put 3 columns, 1 row. The reason I'm doing this is just because I don't want the video to be too large. Now I've already uploaded my video, so I'm going to go into the video element, and I would normally click upload, then I would just click the video, and then you can drop it in here or grab it. You've already got the video, so I think the first video I had was for step 1. I've got an intro video as well that you might want to put in there, because you could always put an intro at the beginning of the funnel, but for the sake of this I'm just going to choose this one and drop this one in here. So that's the video. It's not a very good shot of me. I should change the thumbnail for that. I'm gonna, because I've got brown and brown, I'm gonna put a border around it. So I'm gonna go into the style, I'm gonna make solid, I'm gonna choose a white border for this, and I want to make the border width about 3. Oh, I've given it corners. That's not bad actually. Might give it little rounded corners there. That's it. Okay, you would SEO all these pages, by the way. I'm also going to bring this up a little bit. All right, let's just preview this page. So there we go. You can play that content. There we go. So that all works. Great. All right, so we created that step. So what I'm going to do now is clone. So I've got this opt-in funnel here. I'm going to put this video, let's put this as step 1. And and you can change the URL, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to click and save this out. And we've got the second one. Enter. And I'm going to swap these videos. So I'm going to edit this one. This is going to be step 2. And then step 3. So I'm saving myself work there. Dirty window remarks. Thank you, Nancy. Oh, Tracy. 9:10. Wow. So now I'm going to swap this one out. So I'm going to go in here, and this is on replay as well. So Tracy, if you need to go because you need to cook. Tracy was on a live once and she was peeling potatoes. It was hilarious. Right, so step 2 is done. I've just swapped it over. Go back in here. I'm now cloning for step 3. And sometimes the names change here. I don't know. I need to report this. I've known about it for a while. I need to just do it. So sometimes those names change. But we're going to go and edit this. So this is step 3. So we've done step 1, step 2. Look how quick. It's taking me minutes here to do this. That's what I meant. And this is totally made. We made this from scratch, based off of the lead magnet. So how quick it is. We've got a 5-step funnel sequence done in a fraction of the time it took to do the first one. Because once you do the initial work, actually repurposing stuff is really easy. Obviously we change these names and things, but I'm just going through this so that you can sort of see how quick it is. And I've got the 3rd video to put in there. Obviously, you know, make sure that you're taking the stuff from here. I should be doing step 3. I need to go back to step 2 to change that text over. And guys, I know I haven't focused on it, but you know when the SEO page thing pops up, please make sure that you're SEOing it. If you don't know about that, please check up the SEO in the one of our YouTube videos that tells you about all SEO, or better still, go into the YouTube challenge on our tutorial site where it talks about SEO and the importance of it. You'll notice that if I don't put SEO into here, it's a generic word. I've got no description, no keywords, I've got no social image. If I post this on a social site, it will just throw out rubbish, really. So you need to be making sure that any funnel steps, because they are public, you need to be putting this information in. So it is a really important element. I was going to save that workshop for another Zenstream, just because it is that important. You know, just like testing, it's so important. All right, so that's it. I've got my 3 steps and I go through to there. So I'm not going to do it, but I'm just going to show you like how you would link it up. So this would be the funnel URL that you're sending out. So they'd be going into here. Let's do a walkthrough. They'd be going into this first step here. This would be the one that you'd be marketing. You would go in here and then you would get the opt-in. And when they click here, they would then go through to the first funnel step. Yeah. So let's try that. But from that point on, after they've left here, because this button redirects them to the first video, which is step 1. But after that, they've got no way of navigating to this one or this one. And this is where automations come in. So if you set your automation, day 1, you send out the video here from subscription. We've already done that with Lead Magnet. So you send them to this link. They'll go through here. They'll go through here. And then on day 2, so a delay of 1 day or a week, even if you want, whatever you like, you then send them to the second step of the funnel, which is this one. And you put that in the email. So you've got 1 email, an introduction goes out. Second email sends them to this one. Then on the 3rd day, you send them another email and it goes out to the last step of the funnel, which is here. And then finally, you can send them one more email or put a button in here and send them to the thank you page, which you can design as well. So that is how it works. I've already showed you automation, so unless you ask me to, I don't think I need to take you through that. You know about those funnel automations, but that is how it works. That's how you go through. Always test it. So you'll be testing this stuff. You'll set your automations up. You'll go into the preview of the funnel. You'll copy the URL. You'll go into incognito. You'll make sure that it's all working. So I'll go in here. I'll be like, right, okay, let's test this. Let's go through here. Let's put my name in here and let's click. And this should take me to the first step of the funnel. And it does. And then, am I going to get that email tomorrow? You can speed it up while you're testing. Instead of a delay of 1, you could do it a delay of 1 day. You could do it a delay of 1 minute just to test it. So the emails come in. And then once it all works, you then set that time delay up to a day or a week or whatever you want. But you're just using it for testing. So it's taken me to this one. You could also, if you wanted to, you could put a button in here. If you don't want to send countless emails, and one of my funnels I do this with, I've got one where I'm training people how to use the basics of using ZBrush, and I don't want to keep including that in all my training, so I give it away as freebie. Get a lot of sign-ups come through that, and they upgrade and buy my courses. I say if you learn this, then you'll have the foundations to be able to take any of my courses. And I do exactly that. I send one email out. Thanks for signing up for this. Here is all the information you need to know to learn ZBrush to be able to take my courses. And then they go to a series of videos like this, but underneath each of the videos a button, and that button goes to the next step. So from here, it will go to here, and the URL, I just put the URL into the button and just repeat it. And they go through 32 videos, 32 funnel steps to finish it. When it gets to the end, there's an upsell at the end. Right, now you've done this, check out this course, this course, this course. And then I also follow up with an email as well, normally about a month after if they haven't signed up. So that is how it works. That's how we have our funnels. So let me have a look. Have you seen the new page editor yet? It is much different. I actually really like what we have now. Oh, right. Have I said, oh, Tracy, you're terrible. Look, fundamentally, we know the system is good. You're not going to be unfamiliar. It's not going to be a brand new system. Well, it is brand new, but it's not going to be, the way that it works is not going to be hard for you to pick up. But the pluses of the new page builder, this is 2.0 that's coming out, are massive. It isn't just about the page builder. This is what a lot of people are thinking. Oh, you know, it's the page builder. It's going to be, it's going to call, it's going to keep it updated. Yeah, it's going to be a lot different, but it is not actually going to be a lot different. It's going to be, it's more, the reason that it's being implemented, Tracy, is because, and you guys, is because the core code structure has been altered to be cleaner and to make it more manageable with new features coming into it. Right, imagine this. If you have a jigsaw puzzle and you've created the jigsaw puzzle, but you're adding new bits into the jigsaw puzzle and they don't always fit properly. So you end up making another jigsaw puzzle. Let's just say that's a new feature, putting it next to the big one, the original one, and you build it up like that. But that's not effective, because effectively you need a building block. You need something that's going to link together. And that's exactly what the page builder will do. So it will eliminate all these little problems. It will mean that it's a lot more expandable, and not just for how it works with building the pages. The knock-on effects of the code mean that it will be better for things like templates, designs being put into the site, being able to maybe sell your own designs. There's a lot of extra things that are being worked on. And some of the major features like quizzes and surveys, some of these things cannot be done until those code blocks are in place. So this is at grounding. Do you remember we had a maintenance and we upgraded all of our data servers? So we went to much bigger, much more scalable. This is all in implementation for the platform just getting faster, quicker, and being able to handle more demands, things like gamification, these kind of things. So without this Page Builder 2.0 going in, I know we've been speaking about it for probably 2 years now, but it is such a big fundamental. It's literally, we've picked the house up that is Zenler and rebuilding the foundations underneath it before putting it down. It's a huge thing to do. It's all being very thoroughly tested. And so it's not just a case of like, oh, is my page builder going to change? I like the way it works. It's going to change, but not to the point where you have to relearn anything. If anything, it will be easier because it will be quicker, it will be more responsive. There won't be any of these things. There won't be knock-on effects from other new features going in. These kind of things. This is how development work. They're working with this. There's lots of new features. I can't say anything because Rakesh will go mad at me. But it's good. Better for blog posts? Yeah, absolutely. Unification of the system. I think at the moment, I see these are things that I point out all the time. It's like the email designer itself is like totally different to the page builder. And you're probably nodding agreement with here. Why isn't it the same? Like the automations, why can't I use the same email designer into the automations? Or why isn't it more like the page builder to build email automations? These are questions that I asked all the time. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Why can't it be similar? Because at the end of the day, we want to learn one thing and we want to be able to use that in lots of places. And at the moment, Zenler does do that. It's got the page builder for the lives. It's got the page builder for the pages, for courses, for the funnels. It's just we need it for more. And then I think it will be good. It will be really good for us. So nobody has to worry about relearning a system from the ground up. That's for sure, because it will be similar. It's going to look cooler. There's branding. I know Rakesh has mentioned that, so there's branding things going in there. It's just upping the level of everything, making the system even more stable than it is. It's pretty good. It doesn't go down often. So yeah, you happy with that, Tracy? That's good. And I think you were talking about, I think pretty emails were asked for by Francis. No one else added. Nancy's, maybe I'll do one on cleaning windows, Nancy. That song. All right, so I think you're all sorted. You got any questions? Do you need me to extend further? It's been quite a long one, this. So we've been 2 hours, 10 minutes. This is funnels. So if you stuck with this, you stayed with us the whole time, well done. Funnels is always a massive workshop. I'm normally two hours. I'm sure Tracy can testify for that. Peeling potatoes. I think you should do that one, Tracy. Do a Zenstream on peeling potatoes. So yeah, funnels. If you go into the tutorial site and you go into the live workshops, you'll see the Sunday mentoring. If you go in there, I did funnel workshops in there, and in excess of 2 hours. They are big subjects, and I was debating, shall I do lead magnets separate from video series? But I really wanted to get the point across to you today that it doesn't matter if you pick video series funnels, if you pick lead magnets, because you have this ability of adding steps, removing steps, changing things around. I think that was the main point of it anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and that is a Zenstream. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys.